The apartment beneath mine has been empty for years, but every night someone rearranges the furniture. I know this because I can hear the creaks and groans of the old wooden floorboards, the soft thud of chairs being pushed across the floor, and the occasional faint scrape of a drawer being opened. At first, I thought it was just the building settling, but as the nights went by, the sounds became more deliberate, more intentional. It was as if someone was trying to make a point, to tell me that they were there, watching, waiting. I've tried to ignore it, to tell myself it's just my imagination playing tricks on me. But the sounds always seem to start at the same time, around midnight, when the rest of the building is quiet. And they always seem to stop at the same time, around 3 a.m., when the first light of dawn starts to creep into the sky. It's like they're keeping some sort of twisted schedule, some sort of make-or-roll waltz that only they can see. I've talked to the other tenants in the building, but no one seems to have noticed anything out of the ordinary. They just shake their heads and tell me I must be hearing things, that the apartment below mine has been empty for so long, it's just not possible for anyone to be in there. But I know what I've heard, and I know what I've felt. There's a presence in that apartment. A presence that's watching me, waiting for me to make a wrong move. I've tried to go down to the apartment to see if I can catch a glimpse of whoever or whatever is making the noise, but the door is always locked and the windows are always closed. It's as if they're trying to keep me out, to keep me from seeing what's really going on. And the landlord, Mr. Jenkins, just seems to be avoiding the whole issue. He tells me that the apartment is still empty, that no one has rented it in years, but I know that's not true. I can feel it, a presence that's lurking just beneath my feet. Sometimes I'll be lying in bed, and I'll feel a faint vibration, a faint hum that seems to be coming from the apartment below. It's like they're using some sort of machinery, some sort of equipment that's making the floor vibrate. And then, just as suddenly as it started, it will stop. The silence is almost deafening, a heavy, oppressive blanket that seems to suffocate me. I started to feel like I'm going crazy, like I'm the only one who can see what's really going on. The sounds, the vibrations, the presence that's lurking just beneath my feet, it's all starting to take a toll on me. I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating, and I'm starting to feel like I'm losing my grip on reality. And then last night, I heard something that made my blood run cold. I was lying in bed trying to drift off to sleep when I heard a faint whisper. It was a soft, raspy voice, a voice that seemed to be coming from the apartment below. It was speaking a single word, over and over again, a word that seemed to be echoing through the floors, through the walls, through my very soul. The word was mine. I didn't sleep after that. I just lay there, my heart racing, my mind reeling. Who or what is in that apartment? What do they want from me? And what do they mean by that single haunting word? I don't know, but I do know one thing. I'm not going to be able to take much more of this. The darkness seems to be closing in around me. The shadows cast by the faint moonlight outside my window, twisting and writhing like living things. I can feel the presence, the weight of it, bearing down on me, crushing me. And I know that I'm not alone. There's something down there, something that's waiting for me, something that's watching me. I'm starting to wonder if I'll ever be able to escape, if I'll ever be able to break free from this living nightmare. The apartment below mine has been empty for years, but now it's filled with a presence that's watching me, waiting for me, and I know that I'm running out of time. Check the apartment below yours tonight. I tried calling the police again, but this time I didn't even get through to voicemail. The line was just dead, completely. Hung up and tried again. Same thing. It's like my phone's been disconnected from the world. I walked over to my landline on the desk, picked up the receiver. Just dead air, no dial tone, nothing. The feeling in my chest was tightening, a cold knot of dread forming that had nothing to do with fear and everything to do with something far more primal. Something was wrong here. Terribly wrong. My apartment suddenly felt exposed, like a fishbowl. I could see every window from the street below. Anybody could see me. I stood frozen, my back against the wall, trying to make myself as small as possible. The silence? No longer peaceful. It was heavy, pressing down on me. I could hear my own breathing, ragged, shallow, and underneath it a faint sound, a scratching at the door. Not the lock, the wood itself, like something with long, sharp nails, trying to get in. It stopped. Then started again. Louder, more deliberate, not random, purposeful. I looked at the peephole, just a fisheye lens view of the hallway outside, dark, empty, but I could feel it, feel whatever was out there, feel it waiting. The scratching stopped, and then came a voice. Not through the door, but in my head. Soft whispers, almost too faint to make out, but I heard it, clear as day. Let us in. My blood ran cold. Not a request, a statement, a demand. I stumbled back, my legs hitting the edge of my bed. I collapsed onto the mattress, the springs groaning in protest. The scratching started again, faster now. A rhythmic, grating sound that set my teeth on edge, and then another sound. Footsteps, heavy, slow, moving away from the door, down the hall, toward the stairs. They weren't leaving. They were going somewhere else, somewhere inside the building. I forced myself up. My heart hammered against my ribs. I crept to the window, pulled back the curtain just a sliver. The street below, empty. Streetlights cast long, distorted shadows on the pavement, and then I saw movement at the base of the building, near the service entrance, too big to be an animal, too slow to be a person. It was a shape, shifting in the darkness, never quite resolving into anything recognizable. But I could feel it watching me, even from 3 stories up. I was a mouse in a trap. And the cat? It was in the walls. The scratching at my door stopped. Just stopped. No warning. The silence? Oh, the silence was worse. Heavy with expectation. Like the whole house was holding its breath. Then I heard it. That low hum. From the floorboards, vibrating up through my feet. Same frequency. That first night, when it all started. The hum that made my teeth ache. Made my vision swim. It was back. Louder now, deeper. A bass note played right on the house's bones. My phone buzzed on the desk, a text message from an unknown number, just 2 words. We're home. I stared at it, my thumb hovering over the screen. Delete? Call the number? What good would any of it do? Whoever was sending this was already inside the building, inside my head. I picked up the phone, my fingers trembling as I typed a reply. Who is this? I hit send. The reply came back instantly. You know us. I stared at the screen, the letters seeming to swim before my eyes. How did you get in? Another reply. We never left. The floorboards creaked, not under me, but under something else. Something heavy was moving through the apartment below. The floor above my head groaned in protest. It wasn't just in the walls anymore. It was in the floor, in the ceiling, all around me. The hum grew louder, vibrating through my entire body. My teeth started to ache again. The lights flickered, once, twice, and then went out completely, plunging me into absolute darkness. The only light came from the phone screen, illuminating my terrified face in the gloom. The scratching started again, but this time it wasn't at the door, it was at the window. The scratching was louder now, more insistent, like fingernails on glass. I felt a chill run down my spine as I stumbled towards the sound, my hands outstretched in front of me. The phone screen cast an eerie glow on the walls, making the shadows seem to twist and writhe like living things. I reached the window, my fingers brushing against the cold glass, and that's when I saw it. Distorted and twisted, staring back at me from the other side of the pane. The eyes were black as coal, and they seemed to bore into my very soul. The mouth was a twisted slash, filled with jagged teeth. I froze, my heart racing, as the face began to move, its mouth opening and closing in a soundless scream. The scratching grew louder, more frantic, and I felt the glass begin to vibrate beneath my fingers. I stumbled back, my eyes fixed on the face, as it continued to stare at me with an unblinking gaze. The phone screen flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls, and I felt a presence behind me, a cold draft that sent shivers down my spine. Spun around, but there was nothing there. Just the darkness, and the oppressive feeling of being watched. The face at the window didn't move, didn't blink, just kept staring at me with an unspeakable hunger. I felt my breath catch in my throat, my heart racing as I realized that I was trapped. The door was locked, the window wouldn't budge, and I was at the mercy of whatever was on the other side. The scratching stopped, and an oppressive silence fell over the room. I was left standing there, frozen, as the face continued to stare at me, its eyes burning with an otherworldly intensity. Suddenly, the phone screen flickered again, and a new message appeared. Look closer. I felt a chill run down my spine as I stared at the words, my mind racing with what they could mean. Look closer at what? The face at the window? The darkness around me? I hesitated, my heart pounding as I turned back to the window. The face was still there, its eyes fixed on me with an unblinking gaze. I felt a presence behind me, a cold breath on the back of my neck, and I knew that I wasn't alone in the room. The face at the window seemed to be waiting for me to do something, to take some action that would unlock the secrets of this twisted game. I raised my hand, my fingers trembling, and touched the glass. The face didn't move, didn't react, but I felt a jolt of electricity run through my body. The phone screen flickered again, and a new message appeared. You're getting close. A physical presence, threatening to crush me. The face at the window didn't move, didn't blink, but I felt its gaze, burning into my skin, running out of time. I knew that, whatever was on the other side of the window, whatever was in the room with me, was closing in. I had to do something, had to take some action, or risk being consumed. The phone screen flickered again. A new message appeared. Open your eyes. I stared at the words, mind racing. I'd been blind, all along. But what was the truth? What lay beyond the darkness? I raised my head. Eyes locked on the face at the window, and that's when I saw it, a figure. Standing just behind the face, its presence filled the entire room. The face was just a mask, a distraction. I fell for it. The real horror was behind it, waiting for me. Waiting for my next move. The figure didn't move, didn't react, but I felt its presence washing over me like a wave. I was frozen, paralyzed with fear as the darkness closed in around me. The phone screen flickered one last time, and then went out, plunging me into absolute darkness. I was alone, surrounded by an oppressive silence, with only my thoughts to keep me company. And then I heard it. A whisper, soft and raspy, speaking a single word. Sue. Check out the next part of this terrifying story on our channel.